Hey everyone, Winaway here. I've been playing Genshin Impact for the past 2 weeks. The game has really sucked me in. Therefore, I'll be uploading quite a bit of Genshin content starting from now. I've been waiting for the right time to learn everything properly before I share information with you guys. So stay tuned for concise videos full of knowledge about the game, stats, mechanics, and how to build characters and teams. Click on subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications once the videos start flowing in. With that out of the way, let's move on to what this video is going to be about. For those who are unfamiliar with the game, I'll briefly explain what type of a game Genshin Impact is and show you what it looks like to help you decide whether this is a game for you. And we'll end the video with 2 technical tips that you can use before you even start the game for a better experience. Genshin Impact is a free-to-play open-world PvE action RPG made by miHoYo for PC, smartphones and PS4 and features a gacha system. If you're not familiar with gacha games, it's basically loot boxes. Now don't run away yet just because you heard the term loot boxes. Genshin can be played and enjoyed completely free to play, and it definitely is worth a shot. The game features an amazing soundtrack and a beautiful open world which is not at all small and will get even larger with future updates, with patch 1.1 coming on November 11th. The lore is also pretty rich and interesting, but I won't spoil anything about that, so check out the game or one of the wikis, as well as game's own mangas if you're interested in that. In Genshin, you control a party of up to 4 characters that you switch in between at will, with only one character being on the field at a given time. There's also co-op supporting up to 4 players. Each player gets to have a character on the field at the same time, so you could actually have 4 characters out on the field with 4 people during co-op. The world is full of chests, plants, minerals and other gatherables, as well as quests, daily tasks, lots of mobs and world bosses. Exploration is both horizontal and vertical, as you can essentially climb any surface in the game, glide in air and get on top of mountain peaks for truly great scenery. The game also features waypoints that you unlock the first time you visit for free fast travel, and it also features a resin system, which is some sort of an energy/stamina system to time gate your progression. It is a cap of 120 and it replenishes at a rate of 1 every 8 minutes. So you should use up your resin whenever it's getting close to the cap, as it will stop replenishing at the cap. You use resin for things such as acquiring domain, aka dungeons, and world boss rewards, which become a huge chunk of your progression at very late stages of the game. The true endgame is what is called the Spiral Abyss, which is a series of challenges where you clear 12 floors, each with 3 chambers full of enemies. There are currently 2 zones in the game, with more to be added down the line, with 1 zone and main city for each element. Combat is action RPG style with a focus on different elements and their reactions with one another and the environment. The 7 elements available are called Anemo, wind, Cryo, ice, Electro, lightning, Dendro, nature, Geo, earth, Hydro, water, and Pyro, fire. Each of these interact with one another to create elemental reactions that deal damage to enemies in different ways. The game basically boils down to building characters in certain ways and creating a team of 4 that synergizes well together, both in terms of character-specific abilities as well as their elements. Any given team will feature 1 main damage dealer, with the other 3 characters playing more of a support role, one of which possibly being a healer. Certain characters also make it easier and faster to explore the world or reach certain parts of it. Combat is fairly straightforward action RPG combat, using left mouse button for normal and charge attacks, E and Q for your talents, which are your skills and abilities, shift or right mouse button for dash/dodge and sprint, as well as space for jump. You can also aim your shots with a bow by pressing R or holding left mouse button on the bow character. Speaking of which, there are 5 types of weapons in game and characters are weapon bound, meaning each character can only use a single type of weapon. For range characters, you have bows and catalysts, which are books or magical objects for elemental projectiles as basic attacks, and there are claymores, pole arms, short swords for melee characters. There are 5 base stats in the game: HP, attack, defense, elemental mastery, and stamina. HP determines your total health, attack determines your total damage, defense reduces damage taken, elemental mastery influences elemental reactions, which I'll cover in more detail in a future video, and stamina dictates for how long you can keep dodging, running, swimming, climbing, and gliding. Further on, you have advanced stats such as crit rate, crit damage, healing bonus, energy recharge, cooldown reduction, as well as elemental and physical bonus damages and resistances. Also more details on these later on in another video, which will be the main focus of the channel. You level up your characters through the content itself, but mostly through the use of experience books that you loot throughout the game. Character, weapon, and talent levels and your adventure rank are separate. Your adventure rank indicates your overall player level and comes with rewards each rank up. Your character, weapon, and talent levels are capped based on your current adventure rank. Your adventure rank also increases your world level, which dictates the level of the mobs in the world and the overall difficulty. Characters have base stats and gain stats per level. They also gain stats from weapons. The only way to gain stamina is by turning in these special items called oculi that you gather by exploring the world and turning them in at statues spread around the world. But the majority of your stat increases come from your artifacts. Artifacts are the only other items you can equip besides your weapon, and come in 5 slots and can be looted out in the world or gained as rewards from quests, domains, world bosses, or various other activities. The 5 artifact slots are flower, plume, also referred as feather, sense, also referred as clock or timepiece, goblet, also referred as cup, circlet, also referred as helmet, hat, and cap. Artifacts have main and substats, with substats being picked at random. Flower always has HP as its main stat. Plume has flat attack as main stat. Sense can have one main stat out of attack percentage, defense percentage, HP percentage, elemental mastery, and recharge percentage. Goblets get either attack percentage, defense percentage, HP, EM, or physical or elemental damage for main stat. And finally, circlets can have one of attack, defense, HP, crit rate, crit damage, healing, or elemental mastery. I will be uploading videos covering itemization and builds, so definitely keep an eye out on the channel for those. There are currently 23 collectible characters in the game. You start out with your own character, who's joined by another 3 within the first half an hour of the game through the story. You also get another 2 free characters later on. The only other means of acquiring new characters beyond these is through the gacha system, where you have to roll by using primogems, a currency that you're given plenty of as you start and that you can grind going forward, but also can purchase with real money. Your main character, the Traveler, starts out as an Anemo, a wind character, and is the only character to eventually be able to get all elements. Though bear in mind that you can't switch between elements at a whim, and must do so out of combat by visiting statues. So your main character can act as a wildcard of sorts when arranging your team, and the elements you'd like to have at hand. You get a Pyro, Cryo, and Electro character within the first half an hour of the game, and once you get to Adventure rank 20, you will be given a free Hydra character. Clearing Spiral Abyss Floor 3 Chamber 3 will get you 1 more Pyro character for free. The Hydra character, Barbara, however, will only be obtainable till next patch 1.1 on November 11th though, so you might want to hurry for that one. The game starts out with you on a beach where you complete some movement and combat tutorials. Then you're immediately getting introduced into the story, leading you to the first main city. At this point, if you decided that this game might be for you or might be worth a shot, the best thing to do would be to jump right in and play it, as it is rather intuitive in terms of the gist and feel, as well as how it plays. As for the 2 technical tips, before you launch the game, head over to the installation folder. Go into Genshin Impact game folder, create a shortcut of the Genshin Impact.exe, or go to your existing shortcut on your desktop or wherever you'd like to use. Right click on the shortcut, go into properties, add - pop-up window at the end of the target field outside of the quotation marks and click on OK. This will allow you to run the game in borderless windowed mode once you change it to windowed through in-game settings, something you normally don't have as the game forces you to minimize otherwise, or displays the ugly bar up top. Second tip concerns the voice language of the game. Let's face it, this is an anime game, and most people prefer their animes in original Japanese, without dubs. Suffice to say, the Japanese voiceover quality also appears to be superior to others in my opinion, despite being a Chinese game. So head over to your registry by pressing on Ctrl+R and typing into the field Regedit. Navigate to Genshin Impact's registry folder by copy-pasting this line that you can find in the description into the path. Then get into this key called general_data. Scroll down a bit to find voice language type and change the 1 into 2 for Japanese voice rather than English. You need to do it this way because the game will prompt the first cinematics before you can reach in-game settings, which would subject you to English dub as soon as you start out. Now you're all set and ready to start playing. Alright, that pretty much covers the introduction to the game. In the next video, I'll cover the basic systems in the game and then jump straight into more advanced topics such as team building, itemization, stats, mechanics, calculations, as well as tips and tricks regarding the gathering and exploration aspects of the game. Also worth mentioning that I'm currently in the process of assembling a team to create something similar to Wowhead, if you're familiar with that, for Genshin Impact, an all-purpose database/tool/builder website that people can use to access information at a whim and build their teams and characters. If you're interested, if this is something that you might be interested in helping with, make sure to get on Discord and get in touch with me. Hope you liked the video and hope it was helpful. Please subscribe for future videos and drop a like so that Paimon can live for one more night, and leave a comment below to let me know what else you'd like me to cover in future videos. Enjoy your game and happy grinding. I'll see you next time.